Hey dudes, so, happy National Women's Month. Yeah, is it? I don't know. It's Women's History Month? Yeah, that's what this is. So, in honor of Women's History Month, sorry, I'm all stuffed up because I have allergies. In honor of Women's History Month, I'm going to be coming at you live today with, books where the guy falls first, because I feel like if anything screams I love women, it's men that are absolutely like in love with these people. And then we're just gonna do only the ones that I have, like that I own, because there are so many of these books that I've read that it would literally be way too long. And then we're gonna have one honorable mention because I finished the book yesterday and I think that it's cute and funny. My hair looks terrible, so we're gonna ignore that. I also shouldn't be taking off my glasses, but that's fine. And I also should be doing homework right now, but it's spring break and I'm saying no. Putting my foot down. Okay, anyway. Starting off strong, we have Dating Dr. Dill. I read this book this month and it's a new release this month too. So it follows Karina and Prem, and pretty much Karina is 30, and that's like a big deal in the Indian community, South Asian community, and she's not married or anything like that, so it's like, wow, because they're a very traditional, her family at least is very traditional. And then there's Prem, and he doesn't believe in love because I don't know if it's because something tragic happened or what, but he is 110% an arranged marriage type of guy. And pretty much the book is arranged marriage versus a love match, low-key. Anyway, they meet one night in a bar, and then shit goes down. Prem has to leave. Karina's pissed. The next day, Karina has to go to do something with her sister, and she sees Prem, and he has his own show. It's the Dr. Dill show, because Dill means heart, and he's a cardiologist. Anyway, shit goes down on the show, and then Prem tries to get her, they try to have like a mutually beneficial relationship, but it doesn't really work. I don't even know what to tell you, but it was so fucking good. And the whole entire time Prem's like, I'm not in love with her. I don't believe in love. Love is not real. And you're like, Prem, you're in love with her. Yep, that ache in your chest, that's because you love her. But also it has a Taylor Swift playlist in the back that's Prem and Karina's songs. So if that doesn't convince you to read the book, then I don't want to be friends with you anymore. Anyway, then we have the Love Hypothesis. Also, Book of the Month, sponsor me. Do you see how I've wrapped 2 of your books now? Book of the Month, sponsor me now. Anyway, so next is the Love Hypothesis. It follows Dr. Adam Carlson and Olive Smith. It's apparently a fanfic that got published, but I don't know and I don't care. I don't know who the fanfic's about. But anyway, so pretty much Olive is a PhD student, and she is at school a lot, you know, as students do. She's getting that bag, she's hustling. I support that fully. But her friend is like, Olive, you need to get out more. Like, what the fuck? You need to get out more. Live your life. You're young and hot. And Olive's like, no, I need to be doing this, and this so that I can do, you know, go further in life. Anyway, so one night she's at the lab and she's supposed to be out on a date, and her friend shows up, and so Olive just finds the nearest man and kisses him. I'm pretty sure, like, right before she kisses him, though, she goes, "You're single, right?" And he's like, "Yeah." And then she kisses him, but she doesn't realize until after she kisses him that it's actually what a professor at the school, Dr. Adam Carlson. So Dr. Carlson, Adam, I love him. He's everything I want to be and more. Like, I don't want to be him, but I want him in my life, you feel? Anyway, he, propositions Olive and is like, why don't we fake date? Because he needs to be more appealing, I guess, to the board so that his funding doesn't get cut, and Olive needs her friends to think that she has a life. So they fake date, and it's beautiful. I loved it. Also, Olive is demisexual, and I didn't know what that meant until I read the book. So that was cool. That was a fun, fresh, and exciting aspect. Next we have Twisted Love. I've talked about this book on here before. So it's literally, it was like one of my first videos. So I'm not going to go too in depth. Pretty much it follows Alex and Ava. Oh, wait. Love hypothesis. The whole entire time, Adam's in love with her. Like, the whole entire time. And it's so funny. Anyway, Alex and Ava. Alex is Ava's brother's best friend. And Ava's brother goes to, like, Africa or something on a mission trip. And so he assigns Alex to watch over Ava. So there's some forced proximity. And then, Alex is, like, known as being heartless, and that's how everyone sees him. So I just want to take a minute to appreciate how clear my skin is. Damn. Anyway, he is, like, seen as heartless or whatever, but he has a heart for Ava. And the groveling in the end of this book. The groveling in the end of this book is everything. Like, everything. I loved it. But yeah, I don't know if Alex is in love with her from the very beginning. I don't think he is. I think he is very protective of her though, but he definitely falls first. So next we have The Hating Game. This, if you've never heard about this book, I'm gonna go with you literally only watch this channel because you're likely my neighbors and they love to support me, so shout out to them. Anyway, this is A Hating Game by Sally Thorne. Mocha, what are you doing? Okay, this is A Hating Game by Sally Thorne. It follows Josh and Lucy. Ever since the first day, they work at a publishing company. The publishing company, like, they each worked at a separate publishing company, and then the publishing companies had to come together in a merger. And ever since the first day, Lucy, like, tried to smile at Josh and be nice, and Josh just didn't. Like, he was a dick. But yeah, it was I love this book. It's a workplace romance, enemies to lovers, and by enemies to lovers I mean pretty much they're just petty. But I love it. And there's a scene in here where Lucy is sick and Josh takes care of her. Oh, it's so cute. There's, like, a lot of criticism on this book, and I don't understand why. I've read it 3 times, and I have loved it every single time. But yeah, Josh is in love with Lucy. And, like, literally the first line is something about there's a thin line between love and hate. Yeah, it says, I have a theory, hating someone feels disturbingly similar to being in love with them. That's the first line. So, yeah. And then we have Us Again by Elle Maxwell. I've also talked about this book on here before. But the reason I'm including this one is because this man goes away to prison. His name's Griffin, isn't it? Graham Wyatt. He goes away to prison for 6 years, and the first thing that he does when he gets out of prison is goes and finds Mackenzie and is like, I'm still in love with you. I've been in love with you since our senior year of high school. So let's get this show on the road, you know? Anyway, so good. I didn't think I was gonna like this book as much as I did, but it was super good. I don't even know what to tell you. Pretty much. I don't know if I'd call this slow burn, but the whole entire time you're sitting there, and you're like, when is this thing that's gonna happen? Because you know it's gonna happen, but then it just doesn't happen. And then it happens and you're like, what the fuck? It's beautiful. Anyway, next is Always Only You by Chloe Leese. I love this book. I love the whole entire Bergman Brothers series, and I will be getting the 5th one when it comes out. So, anyway, Always Only You. It follows Ren, our ginger hockey player, and Frankie, our I don't know, our feisty woman main character. This one also, there's a song for every chapter in this. I heard there was a secret chord. Okay. Let me find a song that I know. Unless I don't know any of these. We'll just, so like, yeah. Anyway, so if I was Ren and Frankie, Ren is a hockey player. Frankie is the PR rep, I believe, for the hockey team. And Ren has had a massive crush on this woman since the day that she started her job. But Frankie's like very professional. It's also cute because it's like reverse Grumpy Sunshine. So Ren is the sunshine and Frankie's grumpy, and it is so cute. But Frankie is like super professional and doesn't want to get involved with the boys like that because what it'll do to her career, kind of. And she also has a chronic illness. I don't know if it's MS or arthritis. No, I have no idea. But she has a cane and she calls it her staff because she's a Harry Potter fan. It's so cute. And just, I loved that book so much. I don't know if it was my favorite in the series, but it was definitely a contender because it was so freaking good. Ha ha! Next we have Terms and Conditions by Lauren Asher. This book, I'm not even kidding. I could talk about this book for ages. I've read it twice when I got it. It follows Declan and Iris. And it's an arranged marriage romance. Pretty much Iris is Declan's assistant, and Declan needs to fulfill a certain... In order to become CEO of his company, he has to be married and have a kid. So, obviously he wants to be CEO, so he's gonna marry some chick and then have her kid. It seems pretty simple, right? Except for Declan's an asshole and nobody wants to marry him. This piece of hair is... Anyway, so Iris volunteers herself. She's like, we work well together, all of this, blah, blah, blah. And Declan was pretty against it, but he never said it in the book, but he was in love with her. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. The reason that he was so against it is because he was in love with her, and he doesn't want to be in love. And I was like, okay, Declan, look, it's time to put on your big boy pants. Anyway, I loved it. Everything about this book is just chef's kiss. Also, the whatchamacallit dedication in this book. This also has a playlist with it, so I know that this isn't what I thought it was gonna be about, like what I wanted it to be about. Like the invisible battle is not. Whatever. But, like, it's cute. I almost cried over it, but whatever. Okay, and then we have The Goal by Elle Kennedy. I loved this book. I loved everything about this book. It follows Tucker and Sabrina. Does it? Okay, yeah. So, pretty much it follows Tucker and Sabrina. This one's a pregnancy trope book, and I know that a lot of people don't like pregnancy trope, but I love this book, and I don't like pregnancy trope either. So, Tucker and Sabrina meet one night. Everybody doesn't like Sabrina in Tucker's friend group because they just think she's mean, which I don't understand, but whatever. And then she is, they hook up or whatever. Tucker, right after the hookup, is like, he doesn't say that he's in love with her, but he's in love with her. He is enamored with this woman. And so, he, like, pursues her and asks her on dates, and she's anti-relationship. And then she gets fucking pregnant. And then shit goes downhill. But, yeah. I'm madly in love with John Tucker. So that's all I have for you. Next, we have Electric Idol by Katie Robert. This one is also an arranged marriage. I don't know if it's an arranged marriage, but it's like marriage of convenience, which is technically, it's the same thing to me. It's the same thing to me. So this is a modern day retelling of Eros and Psyche. I likely said those names wrong. What about it? Anyway, modern day retelling of Eros and Psyche. Eros is Aphrodite's son. Psyche is Demeter's daughter. Demeter and Aphrodite don't like each other, so Aphrodite sent Eros to kill Psyche, and instead Eros is like, I'm gonna marry this girl to keep her safe because I'm in love with her. Again, he doesn't say that he's in love with her, but he is. He is. So, it was super good. I loved this book. There was a lot more... Yeah. Yep. So, yeah, it was super good. I don't know what else to tell you. Oh, I am an absolute whore for Hades and Persephone retellings. I have 3 books on my shelves. And that's... I've read more than that, but 3 books on my... 4 books on my shelves? 1, 2, 3. I don't know, 3 or 4 books on my shelves, like, that are just Hades and Persephone retellings. So this was my first, like, Psyche and Eros retelling, and it was, like, eye-opening. Because I don't really have a lot of... If I read books, it's... If I read, like, Greek mythology books, it's... Hades and Persephone. So, that was cool. Anyway, I need to get a move on. Next is Hook, Line, and Sinker. This one also came out this month. Very good. It follows Fox Thornton? I don't know. And Hannah Bellinger. It's the second... Piper. Hannah's sister has a book. And so, they meet. Fox and Hannah meet because of Piper and Brendan. And they become friends, kind of. Fox is like a player, playboy, whatever. And Hannah is just not. But they become good friends, and they bond over music. And I cannot tell you, as someone who deeply loves music, Anyway, Hannah moves in with Fox because she's working in that town, and she can't stay with Piper. So she has to stay with Fox, and shit goes down. It's A Friends to Lovers, and this, I want to read the dedication on this one again, but this was so much more, deeper than I thought it was going to be, because, what the actual fuck? This man has some deep-rooted issues. Deep-rooted, and I just want to be in love with him. Anyway, then we have Nightfall by Penelope Douglas. This is the 4th book in the Devil's Night series. This book was arguably the best. It's also thick as fuck. But my favorite part about this book, literally, it does have to do with the couple, but, all 3 of the books before this, technically it's a 5-book series, but, 2 of the books are just novellas. So all 3 of the books before this, it's a 6-book series. I can't count, but 2 of them are novellas. Anyway... 3 of the books before this, you're sitting there and you're you meet Will and you're okay, yeah, cute, fun, exciting, I like him, whatever. And then you hear about Will and Emery and you're what the fuck went down? And then in Damon's book, which is the book before this, more shit goes down and you're how the fuck is she gonna pull this together? And in this monster of a 700-page book, she pulls it together, and it is absolutely fucking beautiful. Anyway, this series made me so crazy that I had to make myself a timeline. Yeah. Anyway, so it follows Will and Emery. It's a bully romance, so if you're not into that, don't read this book because it's intense. But pretty much Will, I don't even know if he was in love with her or just like to tease her, but he was in love with her. He was like enamored by Emery for some reason, and she was just this shy girl that didn't really have any friends. But Will was like, no, she's fucking mine. She's mine. And if anybody was like mean to her or anything, he would go fucking ballistic on them. But then deny liking her, I don't even know, but it was beautiful. So you get like scenes from their past when they were in high school, and then scenes from now when I don't really know what happens, but Will is in this place called Black Church, and it's where troubled people send their rich people send their troubled kids. And so Will is in Black Church. Nobody knows how or why he's there, but Will is there. And then Emily breaks in, and I can't remember why Emily's there, so just read it to find out. But shit goes fucking down. This book was scary as fuck. I would definitely recommend reading all of them during Halloween or in October, or just when it's dark out, because it's so scary and so spooky and so fun. But yeah, I loved every single minute of this book. Every single minute. Anyway, then my honorable mention, this video is so long and I feel so bad, but it's so worth it. My honorable mention is Long Shot by Kennedy Ryan, I believe her name is. I just finished this book yesterday, and it was intense as fuck. So look up trigger warnings. But it spans the relationship between, it follows Gus and August and what the fuck is her name? I don't know, but they call her Gumbo. Her name is not Gumbo. Iris. God, why am I so dumb? Anyway, so it follows August and Iris, and they meet one night at a bar. August is a professional basketball player. They meet one night at a bar where Iris is watching the Lakers game, and she is like not impressed that August is literally fucking famous. And so they hit it off, talk all night, blah blah blah. It comes to the end of the night kiss, and Iris like doesn't let Gus kiss her because she has a boyfriend. And so then we find out that her boyfriend is actually August's rival, and it gets so fucking intense, and you're like, what the actual fuck? And then it's right person, wrong time. If anybody remembers me talking about a love letter to whiskey, which you should, it's the same type of thing, except for the shit that fucking Iris goes through in this book is so, it makes me insane. It also makes me hate men. So, yeah. And then another thing that I liked about this book is it talked about race a lot, because Iris is black and so is Gus. They're biracial, but it's something that, as someone who literally hates the white ass town that they live in, I really liked it, really related to it. Okay, and then closing out this video with the classic Twilight. I'm not gonna go into this book at all. Pretty much Edward sniffs Bella and is like, holy shit, I'm in love with her. So, yeah, that's it. Happy National Women's Month. If you're a man watching this, go tell some girl that you like her, that you think she's cool, she's fun, fresh, exciting. Tell your mom you love her, because she literally pushed you out of her vagina. So, that's hard. I don't know from personal experience, but I hear it's hard. So, yeah. And if you're a woman watching this, keep girl bossing. Keep girl bossing. Proud of you. I don't know. Okay. Oh, what the fuck? Okay, love you, bye.